Over the heath there stood an ancient crumbling Waterhouse, an old brick building with a black slate roof and heavy iron doors. It used to manage the entire estate's water system, though by the time of this story it was just a decaying shell of its former self. No doors, shattered windows, walls covered in moss and age. It was hard to believe it still worked at all, but somehow it did. Even back when my mum was a kid, the Waterhouse spooked her and her friends. Generations of us grew up hearing the same whispered stories about that place. It was a hot summer afternoon during the school holidays. The older boys, my cousins, decided to take us younger ones blackberry picking to keep us out of trouble. There were 5 of us little kids, me included, and I was in my wheelchair back then. Gran's house backed straight onto the heath, so we slipped through the fence at the back and set off, buckets in hand, the older boys teasing us with ghost stories as we went. But when we reached the Waterhouse, the laughter stopped. Even the older boys went quiet. Nobody ever joked when they were near that place. We had to pass a second fence before we could get to the blackberry fields, and as we squeezed through, all of us felt it, that strange, heavy stillness, like the air before a thunderstorm. We all knew the legend. Back in the early 1960s, a gang of local bank robbers had botched a job. A young bank clerk was killed, several others injured. The gang fled across the heath and hid in the Waterhouse. A few months later, all 3 surviving members were found dead inside, bodies rotting, faces barely recognizable. No one knew how they died. Not long after, locals began hearing strange noises near the Waterhouse, wailing, scraping, and voices in the night. People said they saw hairy figures moving between the broken pipes, and that the whole area reeked of rot and riverweed. By the late 1970s, homeless wanderers who sheltered nearby began turning up dead. Nothing was ever proven, but after that, everyone stayed away. By the time we were kids, the Waterhouse was nothing but a ruin.
To listen the complete story, visit my channel. I would love if you hit that subscribe button.